Jesse, you'd always do the intro if you want to rock and roll it.
Hey, Hada. Whoa!
Sup?
We're in person today.
What's up?
Hello, everybody. Coming to you live from twitch.tv/HeyHada and from Hada's lovely apartment. I got to meet Breakfast, Luca, Ellen. Shouts out to everybody in the Hada household. This is a great place to be. I'm super happy to be here. I could lie to you all and I could tell you, oh yeah, totally. Came here just for the pod, Thanksgiving week. No, it's because my family is in Colorado. But when this was going to become more and more of a reality, I said to Hada, could I come over? I invited myself over very blatantly while recording. Not a maybe on my part, just playing the content game. But Hada is also playing the content game. So much so that Hada is no longer playing the singles bracket game. Hada, why are you retiring from Melee singles?
First and foremost, what's up, Jesse? We're here, which is cool. I'm always here. I work from home now, so I'm like never not here. But Jesse is here, which is super sweet. We've missed out on a couple opportunities to hang out. I know I really wanted to go to Pound because all chat was there at the time. Even BBATs when they were sponsored by us. Now we have Toussaint upgrade per se. Just kidding. I'm kidding, Billy. Billy knows. That's my boy. But anyway, I couldn't end up making it out for that. I actually, I was starting a new job at that point. I have now upgraded. I've gotten more pay, and I get to stay home, which is cool. Was wanting to go to Big House, but again, I had in the last year, have worked 4 contract jobs for 3 months, basically. So it's like every 3 months, I was getting paid pretty well and doing all right and building my resume, but then I'd have to shop around for another job, and that's really stressful. But I'm in a very safe, secure spot right now, so I'm very happy that Jesse's here celebrating the pod, and we have Thanksgiving this week. So guys, for me, I would like to know what you guys are thankful for. So if you guys want to tweet at us, tweet at myself at HeyHada and at PSM Pod and at Cypher003 to go ahead and let us know what you're thankful for. I'm definitely thankful for the pod and being able to do this every week. And more than anything, I'm really excited to say that I'm retiring from Melee Singles. Melee Singles is whack. I've been playing in brackets since 2012, 2013. I've been a very consistent player. This is one of my favorite games for a very long time. And when it all boils down to it, I play the game to enjoy every moment I'm playing the game. And we can have a whole separate conversation, a whole separate video. I'm honestly thinking about filming a video on like why I've decided to do this. But the short of it is even when I'm winning, there are times when like defensive tournament play is just not very fun. It's not very enjoyable. Especially when I've been playing Peach for 8 to 9 years. Like it's a character that it's in your best interest to camp Peach. It's in your best interest to play defensive against Peach and to play Peach at an arm's length. And that's just not very fun. And so my Peach, I just want to go in and push buttons and put you in a combo reel. And I don't care if I lose at that point. But what's interesting is this is my most liked tweet by a very wide margin. Over 100 likes and at least most liked in a very long time. So either everyone's really excited that they never have to hear me whine about singles bracket anymore, or they're really happy that I'm finally going to be able to just be the old boomer who commentates, plays doubles, and goes for combo video clips. So, which is honestly what I was before, but I also had to whine about something. So now I don't have to whine about anything. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's my big update. Big updates is, at least again from yesterday, is AMSA winning Apex. AMSA taking the Apex 2022 bracket over the likes of, I think it was
Hungrybox,
IBDW. Who else? J-Mook was in that bracket. Zane was in the bracket. Zane ran it all the way up through losers after
grand finals.
After losing to AMSA. I believe. Did he lose?
Actually, no. It was Axe who 3-0'd.
Axe 3-0'd him. Yeah, that's actually right. That's right.
Big deal. That was a big deal.
Yeah. Wheeler's right. Singles does suck. And Wheeler is easily the best unranked doubles player in Colorado. So me and Wheeler are now equally, we're basically the same. I'm also
we
super
are.
sick of doubles and totally skilled and talented and dope, and also hate singles, so that's cool. But yeah, I'm gonna pull up the Apex 2022 singles bracket real quick, and but yeah, huge developments, because I think the big thing for Apex going into ranking season specifically was if HBox or Zane take that down, Mango then has a huge contention for not being rank 1, and with AMSA taking their second/third major tournament, that's a really interesting thing. So we'll have to see. So VGBC,
Yep, that's the
Red
one.
Bull, AMSA, Melee singles. Here we are. HBox, Aklo, Zane, Rahui. Yeah, that sounds about right. So we got top 8 Messiah. He's my Messiah. But so we got AMSA game 5 set over Zane, did not drop into losers, won it from the winner's side, taking it another game 5 over HBox. Having the beneficiary of taking out Axe, probably a more difficult matchup than we expected for, as opposed to Zane. So Axe taking a pretty dominant 3-0 over Zane, so with a 3-1 over Aklo. And a set that I would love to talk about that has drawn a pretty hefty amount of discourse is this Fox guy. Moist Esports own Moki. So looking at our top 8 qualifications, we did have HBox versus Moki in a 5-game set. And I was driving back from the gym. I hadn't watched the tournament that day. And I just put it on to listen to it in the background because I saw a little Twitter buzz about it. It was actually HBox and Moki feeding each other like ice cream like at dinner the night after, and it was like, see, we can all get along or something, like Cody tweeted it. And I'm like, wait, what did this drive? Like, where's this coming from? And God, it was a long set and it was a toxic ass set. So Jesse, what's your perspective on the Moki HBox set from Apex?
I was flying to Colorado, so I actually haven't watched Moki versus Hungrybox from Apex 2022. There, I said it. Look, I'm sure just as impressive. There's a lot of Game 5s here in Top 16. A lot of it was recorded. I'm going to try to go back and watch some of them because IBDW's uppy. That's a Game 5. Just for IBDW to make it into loser side top 8 after losing to not AMSA but rather Aklo on winners quarters, which, by the way, shouts out to Aklo for doing that, because IBDW is such a tough out in a Spacey Ditto. I feel like IBDW's really mastered that matchup despite its how it can be back and forth. But when you have all these Game 5s just to make it to top 8, there's going to be a lot of feels, and I'm looking at 3-2 in favor of Hungrybox, and I just go, well, that's Hungrybox basically taking advantage of Moki's emotions. We know that Moki plays with his heart on his sleeve and really feels those losses. I love the fact that Moki had a chance to be able to at least have a shot at Zane going up 2-0. I did see that. Oh, so painful that he wasn't able to take Zane out in the 3 chances. Had to take one more game, and Zane took over. I think it was like 2 stocks or 3 stocks the rest of the way after winning the pivotal Game 3 on Final Destination there. So unfortunate for Moki to come up short against 2 really good players. When you lose to Hungrybox and Zane, you're having a good tournament.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, it's 2 of the top 3 players, at least in contention right now, and if AMSA were to take one of the tour finals, there's a solid shot. I don't think AMSA gets ranked 1, but AMSA could get top 3, maybe 2nd. I don't know. I'd have to look at the spreadsheets. I'd have to look at the head-to-head. And I know, like, once it comes down to the top 10, especially the top 5, head-to-head matters a lot. So when it all boils down to it, AMSA taking this is a huge case for definitely a top 5 AMSA for the year. But something that's really interesting that I saw between the Moki HBox again, I was driving home from the gym, and it was like I kept hearing the Fox taunt. I kept hearing the Fox taunt over and over and over. And because I'm a responsible driver, I wasn't watching very actively, but I'd hear the Fox taunt. I'm like, why is Moki taunting so much? HBox was really playing that defensive game, really pushing Leffen's buttons from across the ocean. Airtime was a factor, that is for sure. What's up, Acebox? And it's definitely something that I don't think needs to be adjusted for, because there's always going to be conversations around Jigglypuff, and not even just this isolated incident at this tournament alone with Moki versus Hungrybox, but also all chats own Toussaint versus Axe actually was a 3-stock to 3-stock timeout on Dreamland.
Yes.
In which Axe won in the last 10 seconds, getting a crucial overshoot in air, and then
crazy.
Toussaint not able to get that traded hit back, and it was a tough situation because of course, every time there's a Puff, timing someone out or playing super defensive, there's going to be people talking on Reddit, people talking on Twitter. Like, do we change the rule set? Why is this so polarizing when a Jigglypuff player can decide to slow the game down to that level and completely change the mentality, completely change the flow of what Melee usually is? And now that I'm kind of more removed from singles for 24 hours, and where this sort of play style would have had me unplug and give it to them after 2 minutes, which I have done in the past, I've had to play Michael 41 Billion on a couple of occasions in the Midwest, and that was never fun. So it's one of those situations where Michael wins neutral 2 or 3 times against Peach, and then you just lose if you're on Dreamland. So it's one of those situations where, if the Puff player can win those couple neutral interactions or even get a stock advantage, there are matchups where it is borderline impossible to come back, with the hard exception of outplaying your opponent on a significant level over and over and over and over and
literally winning neutral 40 times in a row, because that's what it would take.
Especially in Pika versus Puff, or even like Peach versus Puff, where that boils down to, can I get a Stitch and win neutral twice versus win neutral 9 or 10 times? And that's difficult, especially when you're a slower character, if you don't have as much aerial mobility, which Puff has the highest in the game, if I'm correct.
Yes.
And it's just a really, really tough situation because, Melee, because we don't have patches, because we don't have anything that we can do outside of change our own rule set on ourselves. We can't change the code of the game to patch things out or buff or nerf or whatever. There's no developer patch coming. We just have to decide arbitrarily what's the most healthy state for our game moving forward, which is, do we nerf Puff, quote unquote? Do we add an airtime limit? Do we add a ledge grab limit? Do we add a back air limit, a laser limit, do we make Peach throw away Stitch faces and dot eyes and bombs and beam swords and whatever? Like, there's a lot of arbitration that really just boils down to, what do we value in our competitive sphere? And playing a slower game isn't completely out of the woods for other competitive games in the past. Overwatch with the GOATS meta, where they literally ran, I think, 3 tanks and 2 supports and didn't really kill anyone, but they just were an unkillable death ball, completely took the fun out of competitive Overwatch at the end of Overwatch 1's lifespan. And they did hard nerf it. They did hard patch that. But that's never coming here in Melee.
Here's the thing about all this arbitration related to how do we get Puff players or Peach players or other floaty players to avoid doing the stalling game. And the answer is, you don't do any of that. You know why? Because this is not something that happens at the top of tournaments. This is not something that happens in like a grand overall 99% of the time sense. You will come across your floaty matchups, and you're a fellow floaty yourself, and you understand how this goes, or you're more likely a fast faller who goes, why is this game not over in 2 minutes or less? And it is so hard to change your brain into, I need to play a slow game or a long game now. And because wobbling got taken away, which is objectively okay, or however you want to phrase it, I love the idea that Melee can still be played in such a way that flies in the face of games over in 2 minutes. Of course, we all love seeing a matchup where it's Amsa versus a fast faller versus a Spacey in particular. So fun to watch. But then I had more fun watching Amsa versus Zane, where it's a little bit slower. Some of those matches were maybe 3-4 minutes long, starting to get to the 5 minute territory. And then ultimately, when there's a timeout situation involved, what went viral on Twitter? a timeout.
Yep.
And of course, for those of you who are watching on stream, the first 7 minutes and 50 seconds might have been quite difficult. But those 10 seconds at the very end, is it not so sweet? Mm-hmm. I will end this by saying, if you try to control it in any way, I don't think it'll take away the idea that somebody's playing a floaty and says, I'm not gonna go in. This is a tournament set. I need to be able to play the strengths of my character, which is slowing the game down. Mm-hmm. So you're really not taking away the result of what you're looking for. You're actually just creating new avenues for a floaty to play into to continue to frustrate the fast fallers of the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's playing to your own character's strengths. It's playing to the weaknesses of your opponent, and that's what competitive tournaments are for. You play to get that win, and
you gotta earn that dub.
Earn the dub, earn the PR points, earn the dollars, whatever you gotta do. And best of luck to all those who, go for that bread. Go and get that dub. And just to wrap up our top 16, real quick, some other interesting developments. Rishi going on quite a run, losing to Zane for a 9th place finish. So Rishi having quite a
going game 5.
Tournament. Going to game 5, yeah. Rishi, Zane, Marthados have been a pretty consistent, contentious matchup. I think Rishi's a very, very good at the Marthados, and of course Zane's very solid at it. And
Rishi knows Zane like the back of his hand. I mean, exactly. They both do. But yeah. that's like
came up together in MDVA, went to the same locals. Really, really cool to see. J-Flex losing a heartbreaker to Spark. I believe had a couple controller issues throughout the course of the weekend. But again, great top 16 performance coming out from J-Flex. Westball is making an appearance for the first time in a very long time. I believe pretty contentious as well, not knowing the full length.
Of course, it had to be Apex, by the way.
Of course.
Let's go, Ginger.
Yeah, it's Ginger taking a 3-0 over West Balls. I think West having a pretty contentious little bit of controversy coming off, I believe, a soft ban from a couple of other events and other tournament series. But we'll have to see how this development pushes their career or stalls it, or however that's going to look. The Swooper rebranding to the Swooper, which is no longer the Devil, losing a Game 5 to Zuppy. Zuppy having another really solid performance. So Zuppy, I think, firmly cementing themselves in that top 20, top 25 range, getting a 9th place here at Apex. Pretty solid performance. I know they weren't able to travel quite as much as they would like this past year, but always coming out and taking some wins. And a really, really dominant performance at the USA versus the World Crew Battle up in Canada earlier this year.
Yeah, okay. Zuppy sidebar. Saw a tweet from Zuppy today saying, why can't Summit have at least one, or maybe just one, Summit qualifying spot for an online bracket? It's a great question. You know why? Because this upcoming weekend will be the Gallant Melee Open Fall Edition. Yeah. Why not have an open spot up for grabs? You could argue about the vitality of online. There are desyncs, there are shenanigans, there are 100 ping sets. Yes, of course. So if everybody who signs up for that tournament realizes that aside from all the melee bullshit that you can get thrown off by, if you also understand that the online bullshit factor is in the background, is in the foray, and we're willing to give one spot to the winner of an open bracket online tournament that will garner top 30 talent, I think we can all be happy with whoever ends up winning that.
Yeah.
And if there's online shenanigans, it's like, that could, okay, yeah, sure, but we still got somebody like Zuppy going to Summit 15, and Zuppy would be a great person to go to Summit 15. Are you kidding me? Zuppy is a very good player. If you had somebody like Ginger was not at the last Summit, and I'm sure he would love to be able to qualify into it at main stage, because there's 6 qualifying. 6. That's crazy. There are 6 qualifying spots up for grabs at the main stage tournament. It's not this upcoming weekend, it's the following weekend. That's going to be electric. But for one online qualifying spot, why not? Hada, your thoughts?
Yeah. I think qualifying is, the preferred way for most top players to get into Summit. Obviously, the voting process, as exciting as it can be, it's difficult not only on yourself. It's pushing out content, streaming all the time, and then usually leaning on your local scene financially. It can be a really difficult tie-in for a lot of people to ask that of their friends, ask that of their Melee colleagues in order to support them fiscally like that. And that can be a little difficult. I know for a fact that all Chateau and Toussaint, I know that they have vocalized that they really want to go to the next summit, but they're like, I'm going to go to main stage and I'm going to qualify. Or I'm going to get that by earning it. And I think Ginger feels the same way. And of course, we've seen Ginger, we've seen Toussaint, both at summits in the past. And I'd hope to see players like that at future summits as well. And of course, me being biased toward Toussaint, that's my dog. That's all chat. Also, Toussaint, the coolest puff on the planet. Super grounded, very interesting playstyle. Would recommend checking out some Toussaint gameplay. But 6 qualifying spots is absolutely huge. I think an online qualifier would be really great, especially for players who either work crazy hours or don't have a lot of the means to travel all that often. So players such as like Sunsei, who didn't get to travel all that much, Zuppy, just naming Canadian foxes at this point.
And again, even if you have somebody like Kadoran who travels a lot, Kadoran was not invited to the last summit, had to campaign to get in, and Kadoran is the second best Marth in the world by a lot of people's eyes, and is of course in arguably a top 10, top 20 at the very least player. This is somebody that a lot of us in the Melee community are very familiar with and know. So, again, why not? Why not get Kadoran an online qualifying spot if that's who wins the bracket? So, what that all leads to is top 8 for Apex. And we talked about who won. It was AMSA. But here are a couple of interesting sets that I wanted to get into for top 8. First of all, Zane had an opportunity to do something that had only happened 8 times or 9, depending on your definition of one other loser's run, where the winner of the tournament starts on top 8, loser's side, goes all the way through and wins. That's only happened 8 or 9 times officially in Melee's history. So shouts out to Pika942 on the Melee Stats Discord server she's always super great with that stuff. Pika942 is awesome. So we're talking about Zane possibly being able to join that small group of performances, starting out loser side top 8 and finishing with a win. And it was not an easy bracket. Zane has to, first of all, reverse 3-0 Moki. And then Aklo with the Fox Link combo, which we all love. I love Linklo. And then IBDW Zane sets are so good. I love watching IBDW versus Zane. But then in this particular instance, Zane comes out on top. Then Hungerbox pushes Zane to the brink, but Zane wins a crucial game 3, has home court, if you will, be able to counterpick on game 5. But that is as close of a Zane Hungerbox set that we've seen in a minute. And again, a little bit slower pace of a match, but we're all on the edge of our seat going, oh my gosh, Hungerbox is actually being possibly able to do this kind of a thing. And by the way, Zane DI'd and survived 2 different rests on one of the Dreamland games. I think the one that he won on. That's utterly insane. Let me just put that out there. But then in Grand Finals, when Zane finally gets there after having to play all those extra sets and losers, and Amsa's just big time chilling after vanquishing Hungerbox in Winners Finals in a Game 5 set, goes, all right, let's go Game 5, Zane. And Zane has played so much Melee at this point, and it just doesn't work out in Game 5. AMSA is able to win it. I wanted to give Zane props for, even if not being able to finish off the loser's run, I just wanted to, again, because of Pika942, she said this to me in the Melee Stats Discord server, of how hard it is to win a tournament starting off top 8 from loser side. It's only happened 8 times before, 9 if you count Low Tier City 7, Hungerbox did it and beat Zane twice in Grand Finals, but she doesn't count that as a major, so that's the reason why it would only be 8 times. Right. But that's crazy. That's how hard it is to win a tournament when you stop top 8 on the loser side. Yeah.
And it's like we're saying, this was a tournament of 3-2s, 3-1s. There was a lot of games played throughout this top 16 into top 8.
No 3-0s in top 8. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. That's a great top 8.
That is a lot of Melee. So yeah, Zane on a trip, 3-2 over Moki, 3-1 over Aklo, 3-1 over Panda Zone Kite IBDW, and then a Game 5 over HBox, and losing to AMSA Game 5. So Zane got his money's worth. I think he played just about as much Melee as he possibly could throughout the course of this event. But Amsa, the red Yoshi, really just putting in that work. Probably one of the most inspiring players that you've seen throughout the trail end of the MLG era into today was been out and about the highest level of Melee for a very, very long time. Incredible work ethic, wakes up at 6 a.m. like he's getting up for his 9 to 5, and when he was getting up for his 9 to 5 would practice tech skill before he brushes his teeth and actually goes to his job at Nintendo. So huge from Amsa. I'm glad that he's getting all these wins. It's been a long time coming. And will we see a day where a dinosaur is rank 1 globally in Melee? I'm not 100% sure. This is the closest it's ever been. I think Amsa guaranteed top 5, maybe probably closer to 4th or 3rd. It's going to be contentious for, I think, specifically these top 2 spots. We have Mango, I think, probably with the biggest claim right now to rank number 1, just narrowly ahead of Zane and Hungrybox. And Amsa also in that conversation now with this win here at Apex. 1 Big House, 1 Apex. I'm not really going to count the Optic tournament. Like, as hype as that was, it's, Mute City was legal. There was, Nickelodeon-esque slime on the floor,
that was still a great tournament, though.
Great tournament.
Here's how
raise a lot of money for charity. That's the important part.
And here's how Amsa can get ranked number 1. It's by living in North America and not having to travel from Japan for every big tournament. And so this year, and I guess to a certain degree, even more importantly, next year, since he will spend the majority of 2023 in North America, these are your 2 years to push for number 1 in the world. Because if this has been Amsa living in North America and now starting to win tournaments at long last and pushing for number 1 because he doesn't have to travel all the way from Japan for every big tournament, then that's a small little window in his career, 1 year, sharing between 2022 and 2023, where he can realistically earn the number 1 player in the world spot. He'll have to do it, if not this year, because it would take a sweep, and then even still, it's a conversation, because Zane has won a lot of tournaments, so is Mango, so is IBDW, and kind of Hungrybox.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that even if Amsa sweeps main stage and the 2 cup finals, or the circuit finales, it's still going to be a conversation even then. However, I think I would be arguing for Amsa number 1 if he swept, but that's not happening. If Amsa sweeps,
I would be shocked if Amsa didn't get ranked.
That's not going to happen.
If any player in the top 4, so Amsa, HBox, Zane, or Mango, or Cody,
yes, IBDW, if he sweeps,
honestly, even if Jmook sweeps, I would have I think Jmook would have you'd have to have a conversation about it. You're like, maybe 2, but he literally won everything the last 3. That's kind of recency bias. I don't think there's going to be a sweep. I really don't think. I think the top level of Melee has been as contentious as it's ever been in Melee's history, even including the era of the 5 gods.
That's why it's so awesome to be in this era, because we get to all argue about it. It's not clear at the end of November in the year that we're talking about this entire year's worth of results and going, it's not really clear who number 1 is. It's amazing to be in this position for the community.
Zane had such a dominant start of the year, winning Genesis, Jmook getting a 2nd place. We saw some mixed results throughout Canada. Amsa took 1, Leffen took 1, Hungrybox took a Canadian major. No, Amsa did not take it.
Yeah, I was about to say, it was Hungrybox and Leffen.
Hungrybox and Leffen
won BC and Gommel, yeah.
Yeah, they won the 2 summer Canadian tournaments. Cody took Summit, the first one this year.
Yes.
Mango took the 2nd one, got 2nd at that last Summit. Zane took 2nd to Leffen at that Battle of BC. Jmook Gommel was 2nd?
I want to say yes, but I can't.
No, it was Cody because it was reverse pop-off.
Well, no, that was winners semis, but semis. I forget who came out of losers to fight Hungrybox. It probably was...
It was Jmook, because Jmook won Game 5 over Cody. Mm-hmm. Something like that.
Or Zane.
No, it was Zane. Yeah, it was Game 5 over Zane.
Jmook had Zane's number for a little bit there, so I thought if he could just beat Hungrybox, but the one time that Jmook has beaten Hungrybox this year, lost to Zane in the very next set, and I was like, no!
Yeah.
That was your chance, because we all
And
know
then
how
there
hard
was
it is.
Wave Dash. Hungry Bucks took that again. Another game reverse
Game
sweep.
10.
Game 10 over J-Mook.
Fuck.
Jake has been absolutely screwed over by the flying balloon guy. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. So, again, we got H-Box with the win at Wave Dash. Melee Brain schedule.
Don't worry about it.
Big House, AMSA.
Smash Con was Mango. Lost Tech City was also Mango. Double Down was IBDW. IBDW won another tournament before he had to take his hiatus because of his
Phantom.
Yes, Phantom. And what was his hernia surgery and hand stuff. It's been a wild year so far, is what we're getting at. Can you not tell? It's been so difficult to keep up with it. Even though
impressed I still have that all that in the brain.
Yes!
It's actually pretty impressive. The podcast's doing me good. I'm actually like keeping track of all this up here. Pretty wild.
But I can never be a Melee Stats person, so when you want legitimate rankings, just go listen to Waiting for Game. Trust me, you'll get all the reasons why those people should be ranked in these certain positions. But in my heart, this is what I put this down in my Discord server of how this should be. So let me not botch it. Right now, my top 5 is Zane, Mango, AMSA, IBDW, Hungry Bucks. And that's just based off feel. That's just based off of feel. It's based off of what I've been seeing out of all of these players. And
I can see that.
I can't put J-Mook above any of these players. We were able to do that at the beginning of the year, but since J-Mook hasn't won any events as of now, it's not possible to put J-Mook over somebody.
J-Mook can
easily
easily 6 or 7 though, like easy. I think J-Mook's in like that Leffen conversation where Leffen has a couple dubs. But like,
it's really not
J-Mook has a lot of second places
and has not missed a top 8.
Has never
all
missed
these
top
other
8.
players have. Leffen has, IBDW has, even Zane missed a top 8 somewhere. I just forget which event it was. All that to say, it has been a very tumultuous, contentious year. A lot of players actually winning an event. It hasn't always been that way. Different players winning big events. That's also great for Melee. So we have main stage, we have the Smash World Tour, World Tour circuit finale, and the Panda Cup finale for North America. So when you look at those 3 tournaments, somebody sweeping the table, it would be very hard not to immediately vote with your heart. Yes, number 1, J Flex. How sick would that be?
J Flex wins all 3. That'd be insane.
No, but for these
J Flex easy top 5, bro. He's been top 5 this whole time. He's had bad controllers.
So talented. But when you think about one of these top 5 players running the table, it has proven to be nearly impossible just to even win 2 in a row. And that's why somebody like Zane, who I give the edge as number 1 right now, did win 2 events in a row, back-to-back weekends. One Genesis, then one Pound, where Mango, Hungrybox, IBDW, Fiction, J-Mook, well, no, actually J-Mook was not at Pound. Well, but the point is that most of the field that was at Genesis for the top players, not the entire competitive field, but a lot of the top players at Genesis were also at Pound. Zane came up on top twice. So that's the kind of consistency that we're talking about. Zane can play in that way, but then cool off for 3 months, not win an event. That's tough. But then come back with an event like Shine, which Zane won. So that's, again, these are going to be some really exciting last 3 big tournaments that we have coming up in front of us. But for other Melee related things, Hada, what's coming to mind? What's on the Twitter train?
Let's scroll through real quick. Let's see what we got going on.
So first of all, Twitter has not shut down, so that was a topic of discussion. Didn't actually shut down for reals. I think people overall were okay with how Apex went, although I certainly know that there were players and community members that still did not like the fact that Apex came back in general, or that the tournament was run in a certain way, certain style, certain thing. I don't try to go out of my way to tear down TO stuff, but I guess I do get swayed the most when it has to do with VGBC. I'm sorry. I always feel as if VGBC, just comically or not, gets themselves into a bad spot because they make a decision that makes everybody else scratch their heads a little bit.
I mean, main things were Apex. Got a lot of cool stuff going out in the way. I believe was this this week? That was.
Oh my gosh, Melee turned 21.
Melee did turn 21. Yeah.
Happy birthday! Pour one out for our boy. Somebody was saying pour beer on your Melee disc.
Oh god. Oh
please.
Geez. Yeah, that's a hot commodity. But yeah, happy birthday, Melee. Huge up. Glad I could celebrate Melee's birthday with Jesse here live. So guys, please continue to support the podcast. And I think rather than our traditional 1v1 set, what I would like to do is open it up to the field. If anyone here in chat would like to challenge myself and Jesse.
To the fans!
For the fans. Let's can throw down some sets real quick. Throw down a couple BO3s. And I know we got some cool people here from Colorado in the chat. MP3 and Acebox, if you guys would like to play, that'd be a good time. And yeah, who wants the hands? Who wants this?
The answer is you should absolutely want that. No HD for your Animalie?
Oh, no, this is the all chat build.
Oh, the all chat build.
Melee Monday bracket. Oh, you're checking the oh yeah, who's winning Melee Monday? I heard it's stacked. Let's see. Let's look at the LAN tournaments, guys. Completely.
There was a lot of great. There's a lot of great stuff happening last week for all the New Jersey related locals because AMSA was attending every single one of them leading up to Apex. Was at nightclub and like the Apex pre-bracket and the Apex pre-bracket. It was so cool.
Kiefer and Mother's Day beating James Jr. and Wiz P. That's a big dub. Let's go, Kiefer and Mother's Day. Mother's Day out here. Jab and Chunk falling to the brothers, Fizzwiggle and Phazon. I believe they're both going to main stage, so expect a top 5 performance from Fizzwiggle and Phazon in teams, taking a 3-1 over Mother's Day and Kiefer.
Please let Phazon and Fizzwiggle do well. So what would be really cool to see is more doubles play from static teams to get hype and beat these top players who are willy-nilly teaming up. That just makes me so happy. I know that Ryobeat and Aura are not a static team, but that was the closest thing that I felt in my heart to a static team. And it just was so excellent watching a double Peach team go far in bracket at lose at Genesis.
So I'm gonna have you fight MP3 first. I'm gonna tell you nothing about this player. So so Feedy Beady and Polly are following to Jab Chunk, who is let's go direct. It's at MP3. MP number 3.
Scroll is okay.
I don't know how most recently I fought them. There you go.
Okay, autofill Z, start.
Yeah.
All right, I'm now searching for you.
All right. And see, Kiefer, Jab and Chunk taking Kiefer in Mother's Day game 5, but running it back there in Grands.
Ooh, Ness.
Yeah. MP3. Pretty good with Ness. Like, really good with Ness.
I'm just going to dash dance in place and do nothing. Okay, here we go. Oh, no.
They're in the springs. So
But
could have a couple little things. But user connection usually pretty good. Yeah. Midsing is real talented.
no way. This isn't going super well to start. I got 0 to death.
Alright. So... He does like this downer, that double jump cancel downer. He's gonna try to bait you into doing something.
Wait, I thought you weren't supposed to tell me anything about it.
I think like I kind of want you. I don't want you to report stocks because that's very possible. Midsing's really good. Nice.
Okay, excellent timing. I think setting up the.
He's a yo-yo glitcher. Oh my god, you could have killed him there. Dang. Uh-oh.
I mean, there it is.
No.
Yes! I have seen the clip before. As soon as I saw you taunt, I went, wait, I can't stop myself from being. I didn't want to do it, but I knew that was going to happen. And even still, it's just like watching a car wreck happen, and you know you can't. You could react to it, but you're not going to be able to. Oh, hey, look. Grab the ledge. How about that?
Nice.
No, I had press. There it is again.
No, he has it. Oh, he wants you to roll.
There it is.
I think he had it. Oh, no, he didn't get it.
How do you know? How do you know?
I've played a lot with Mitzing. It's like, it has hit like the very front of the yo-yo.
Ah.
Yeah. So, hang on. I'm sure he'll look for a knockdown if I can beat it. Oh, might just yeet you too. That's also possible. Uh-oh. So, Colorado has like 3 high-level nest mains. We have MP3, we have Schoolboy, who got top 4 in the low-tier bracket at Low Tier City, I think 2018. Or it might have been 2021, actually. Actually, it was more recent. It was like 2021, he got top 4 in the low-tier bracket with Ness. And we also have Jim Jam Flim Flam of famous, YouTube content. So we Colorado's very famous for our small psychic children. Oh wait, can you say it going backwards? There's no shot. Oh my god! No, Jesse.
Actually, that helps me. Oh,
You can't shine
nice.
that. Oh, bang! Oh my god. Oh no! You get one more. Get one more. Get one more. You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. Nice. Yes. Neutral win. Look for the big backflip move.
Oh, that's such good. Like, I'm always getting thrown off.
Oh no! Nice backflip move.
I can still do this.
you
I just
got
have to get it. Oh, never mind. That was short-lived.